Namaste. Welcome, everyone. The studio is a little alive, it has its own thing going. It's funny. So a Vipassana meditation, that is an ancient meditation that is so helpful to be able to increase your awareness, to help us become conscious and aware of what is actually happening inside us. As our lives, our days are so filled with activities and inputs and things that we have to do and take in, there's so little time where we can just close the eyes and be with what is there, to still the body and be with what is there. And if you are a meditator since many years, or if you are completely new to meditation, it doesn't matter, because you will have a different experience every time you do a Vipassana. So on my website, AnetteCarlström.com, you can download a free Vipassana. And there it's guided, so it's easier for you to follow along, and some music in the background. You can do this on your own. You can have it completely silent or play some music that you like. It is something that helps us in our daily routine to sit down for a few minutes. Now, if you want to add something to this, if you want to enhance, or I call it a shortcut to inner peace. Anybody wants that? Yeah. So you do a Vipassana, and then you add the heart into it. So I'll be guiding you in that today. In our heart region, when you put your hands on your heart, you feel there's a sacred platform there. There is something of higher intelligence that we can call the divine, or God, or supreme intelligence, supreme light. I like the word light because it's a transmission of awareness, of seeing, of witness, and it's something that there's no question about it. You put light on something, you see what is there. There's no question about it. It's just, okay, that was the fact that it's there. So anything that is in the shadow, we're not aware of. That's why in a Vipassana, we still the body, we are connected to the body, but then we take it one more step, and that is moving into the heart, to be interested in that presence and how we each relate to that presence. It is personal. It must be personal, because we are personal. Each and every one of us, we have a unique thumbprint. We're all unique beings. And we relate to this presence in our own unique way. Excuse me. So, how we relate is not important. It is the fact that you're doing it that will make a difference. If you are looking for that which we call miracles is accessing a higher law of consciousness, that from this perception where we are at right now, it seems like a miracle because it's illogical and it's not expected, and it is given like a surprise, and you feel touched in the heart. You feel it in the heart region as a miracle happen. And it becomes interesting then to know that it's a law of the Supreme Intelligence to access that. And we each then have to access it in our own personal way. We can say we have a personal divine, a personal connection to the divine. And this is the most important relationship you will ever have in your entire life. We came into this life completely immersed into this presence of the divine. There is no separation. Then this life is taking us on a journey of discovery to experience the sense of self being separate from all. Oh, I can't believe this. Somebody calling. I don't have the phone here. I don't know. But this is exactly how it is. Like calling on the divine. Calling, making that connection. And for some people it's easy to do what we call prayer or talk or just relating like that. But you can also, and it's funny that this, I think the computer called, because there are different ways that we can connect with it. And some of my favorite ways, or maybe the favorite way that I use, especially if you are in need of a miracle, if you are like in trouble or you really need help, then it might be hard to kind of muster up a really strong relationship if you haven't done that already. So if you're new to this, you can use a sacred mantra. Sacred mantra belongs to the sacred sounds technology of consciousness. So these sounds are vibrating, connecting you into that sacred presence. So you can either listen to a mantra, or you can sing along, you can just say it, or you can sing it, you can whisper it, or you can repeat it silently inside. If you want to experience that, I welcome you to satsang this Sunday, the 24th. It's always a surprise for me with numbers and dates, but I think I got it right. On this satsang, we'll be sharing sacred sounds, doing different guided meditations and processes so that you can experience and access that higher laws of consciousness we call miracles. Now, why do we need to know this? Because our world is in need for growing into higher levels of consciousness. How each and every one of us can access this without having to belong to any particular religion or philosophy. It is personal to each one. And that freedom is the greatest gift we have received as human beings. So we must know about it and to learn to access it. And I have found that when I use sacred sounds, the mantra, and there's especially one mantra that is like a phone number to the divine, and that is explaining it. We'll be sharing that on the satsang. I welcome you. It's free. You just sign up, and there is a link. You can find it on social media. I try to share this link so you can access it, because it will be sent live. So it's nice for you to join in live and do these processes as many of us are joining in live together. It creates a network, a field, just like we are here right now. We're also creating a field, and it's like you are surfing this field. It's making it more powerful for your own experience when you go on live. And that's why I encourage you to join me. on that. It will be at the same time as this Supreme Light meditation, but it will be on Sunday. So you can keep it in mind and sign up. You get the link. So in these times when we do have a lot of challenges, we will be addressing that on the satsang too, how to meet challenges and overcome them. And it's really uniting the left brain and the right brain. Understanding these higher laws of consciousness are there, and then to have the experience to discover that, each one for ourselves. That's what the satsang will be geared towards, to have your own experience. And many people feel that you have to be belonging to a certain religion to do what we call prayer or communication relating to the divine presence. You can absolutely belong to any traditional religious ways or pathways. When I went to school growing up, I loved the subject of religion, and I loved Christianity. And what I loved the most, because I started that when I was like 3 years old, and none in my family was spiritual, but I loved the stories around Jesus when he grew up. And I learned the most of that through the stories. And as I went into the school systems, we have religion in Sweden as a subject. I aced it every year. It's like the highest grade. Mathematics, I failed miserably, and I couldn't understand what is the use of this. Whereas this right brain is what I valued. It's like if you have that connection, everything is taken care of. And not until as of recent time have I started to value the mathematical, geometrical universe. I'm discovering this, can you believe it? In this old age, finally, I'm starting to see, left brain, right brain, they get together. It's a union of the two that happens, especially in this chakra, in this connecting point between the eyebrows, and also here the throat is like a portal, and into this and up into the oneness. So it's like a marriage between the male and the female inside us, between the right and the left, east and the west. So I'm rediscovering that it is new, and like every moment there is a new birth into this sacred union. So the heart springs up into higher chakras. But I found that only when we are stable in our lower energy centers, the chakras, can we have this kind of, what do you call it? You just like, you take a plunge into higher realms, right? The universe with the stars, and there's a whole world to discover, and we each discover this in our own way. So the sacred geometry is another very interesting subject that we can study as we come into this. What is going on here? It's a funny live studio. I have a sacred space here right next to me, and I have my divine temple. I call it the Temple of the Supreme Light. So for me, the Supreme Light inside is very personal. And I created this center where I have the studio, and right here is also this little Supreme Light Temple where people can come and have their own experience of it. to connect with it. So that which we call miracles and neurobiological change of the brain, because it has to do with how the senses are coordinated with each other. And we need the connection to our own sacred, personal divine for that. So this temple is created for that purpose. Now, because of the times that we live in now, everybody's sitting at home, and it seems like the divine is, or the light here is a little impatient. It's like, well, I'm coming out here now. I want to be with the people. It is that kind of a message. Yes, okay. There is a light here that is going. We're all different. We all have different ways of relating. For me, there's only one. There's one sacred presence, and that we each relate to. We're like family, all of us, and we have our own sacred connection. For some, it is connecting to the Christ consciousness, which is very close to me. It could also be connecting to a different light, like a formless form, or any spiritual master or a being that is close to you. I have many different forms, but I have mostly the Divine Mother and the Divine Father united as one within me. And I enjoy to relate to that one in the different aspects. And there are benefits for that. We're going to go over that on the satsang too, how it could be a benefit for you to sometimes relate to Divine Mother. You know how a mother relates to a child? If the child is hurt or something's happened to it, the mother comes running right away and comforts and gives what is needed. Whereas the father's role, traditionally, is to teach the child so not to do the same mistake again. So there are different aspects of that one. They're not two, it's just one. But in the Eastern tradition of philosophy, which I've been studying for the past 18 years or so with my spiritual masters there as a man and a woman, Sri Aman Sri Bhagwan, that is where I learned the most, because of the level of freedom that everyone discovered in their own way. And in the Eastern way of looking at it, then it is just like Christ said, me and my Father are one, right? It is the same alchemy, the same union. In the East, they have this thing called the sacred sounds, the mantras. And in the Eastern philosophy, they have, like we say in the West, we have a few words to describe God, divine, so forth. Few words for it. But in the East, these sacred sounds, if you were to ask, what does this mean, this mantra? Well, it means, all of them means divine or God. So, they have like 3,000 or more names for the divine. So it's like a diamond with all these different facets, that each part, each facet of this divine is giving access to that presence. So it is so nice to know about both ways, to know that there's one universal creator, supreme light, God. But we can relate to it from many different aspects. And the important thing right now is that each one relates in our own way. It's interesting to study it. I find it so fascinating to be able to learn more and more as I've been studying more the Eastern, and I was brought up in the Western. So I feel pretty comfortable in any area, every religion. I completely have fallen in love with every religion. There's something good in every path. Now, I come from a scientific family, or academic, and that part has not been as dominant in me. I came into this family, very loving family I have, beautiful family, but this spiritual thing I had to do on my own, and I believe that it was a plan like that. And maybe many of us on this call here are like that. Are you the one in the family that has come in wanting to know and discover this presence for yourself? Maybe you are one like that in your family. So it's enough that just one. See, when one person in the family connects to this, automatically the others are affected. And it has nothing to do with religion or spirituality in itself. It has to do with higher laws of consciousness. And you can actually understand it from the point of view of sacred geometry. I so much want to rush into all my insights. I can't believe this. It's very peculiar. But I'm being brought back into, that is how communication. We'll do the sacred geometry. I think we'll do that in another, because there's so much I want to share there. But like the computer is calling somehow. I don't know how this is happening. And it has to do with these higher laws of consciousness. You can feel the universe, nature all around is alive. Even computer is now alive. See, once your ears and senses are open to it and your brain is starting to make the shift, that you can experience the senses, you can experience life flowing through the senses, you will all of a sudden talk to the divine through a bird singing, or through a tree talking to you, actually communicating, and having great sense of humor. Your life changes, and it has everything to do with our brain and our heart being connected together. When we start thinking with our heart and feeling with our brain, when we connect these two and be interested in the sacred presence inside, then miracles starts opening up. Like things that you right now could not even imagine could happen. There's something like that now, right? Isn't it something that you want? See, we learn to connect into the sacred presence. Sacred meaning that you don't know it, it's unknowable. It is just that kind of experience, that it is alive and listening and compassion, and most of all, it's gifted. It's a gift. And in our modern days, we are not used to that. We are used to depending on ourselves. And of course, we need to do everything we can that we have in our ability to solve problems. We don't just sit and wait. We do what we can. But when we apply higher laws of consciousness, how to access miracles, we open ourselves to that gift, to receive it. It is like a breeze coming in from a window on a hot summer day, just cooling you down. Now, our effort in this is to open the window. Otherwise, the breeze cannot come in. It's a good analogy for it. Sometimes we sit in a hot room and we just wish that that breeze would come in and cool us off. But we never open that window, meaning It's not even in our concept that we could receive help and how to receive it. We'll also be going deeper into that on the satsang, how you can go deeper. And I believe there is an online course on that very subject coming next month also, because this is something my whole life is passionate about this. So I was called from inside to do a specific course on only this and go really deep into it. It will be like a 2-hour process. Once you learn this, and once you discover it, that you are the carrier of this, and you do it in your own way, you keep growing in this. And this is the exciting part. As long as you're breathing, you can grow in your consciousness, in your connection to that sacred presence of the divine. And yes, it is a mystical thing. But especially when we are in need, when someone we know is suffering greatly and we feel helpless. In these times when many are suffering unnecessary because we cannot be with them, because we are told not to. If we have someone who is ill in the hospital, there's lots of strange things that we cannot go there and be with our close ones. This seems not human, the situation we have right now. So we need to access this part of us. Since the laws of the world right now is like this, for how long we don't know, we need to become close with the people that need our help and to access it inside. Because when you access your presence inside here, you're also accessing that person who needs the help. That is one of the laws. It's called the antriyaman, the indweller. So, as one person in the family is accessing this indweller, antriyaman, then you can ask anything. It's not you running there to do something. Actually, the divine in that person is getting help, right? It is like maybe that person is not able to connect to the divine for various reasons, but if you can, then the divine in that person can access. Understand? This is intelligence of the heart. And those of us who are on this call or are interested in this, we have some sort of responsibility for the rest of the people in the world who is not able to do this, who believes that we are separate from each other and who keeps hurting ourselves and others. We have some kind of responsibility to connect into our own presence, to go deep in there and to ask for help. So today we're going to do this Vipassana meditation. I'll be guiding you now, and you're also going to be guided to go into the heart. And the first few minutes you'll be listening to some birds. You know, next time, go out and listen to them, because that is the divine talking. You will fall in love with these birds, with letting the sound come in. The presence of that sound is the divine. It's not separate from you. You will experience it through a burst of color. Wow! Through a taste of some wonderful dish that is filling you. That is the divine. It is life flowing. And now, when many people are fearing for their lives, and many people are more consumed by this fear, those of us who have some kind of connection, or at least we are interested in this connection, we can help. We can help this world So you'll be guided into that. And as you hear the birds, you can pray for someone. You can ask your light inside, please help this. Or how you pray is actually you say, thank you for helping this person. Thank you so much. That's all you have to do. And then you will hear some music play after the birds stop singing. Then you can open the eyes for the Supreme Light meditation. That is an energy that is moving through the eyes, helping you to meditate and coming into an alignment with that Supreme Light inside you. It's just flowing through the eyes at a certain time to help you to connect into that one. So let's begin. You can close your eyes. And relax. Feel the feet touching the floor. Relax. Be in contact with your legs. Relax. Your whole pelvic region. Relax. Your back and spine, relax. Your stomach, your whole belly, relax. Relax. Your chest and shoulders, relax. Your arms and hands and fingers, relax. Your neck and throat, relax. Your whole head and your face, relax. Relax. See how the breathing is moving in and out by itself. You don't have to change the breathing, just allow it to move in and out by itself. Be interested in the breathing. Stilling the body, following the breathing. This is what's called a Vipassana meditation. You can do it every day. It will enhance and deepen your awareness of what is actually going on inside you, as you more easily see your thoughts and feelings, sensations. It's wonderful to just be passive in the inner world, allowing for whatever is there to be there, as you have your eyes closed and stilling the body. Now, we're going to put a focus inside the heart, in our sacred space inside our heart. Here you can relate to this presence. You can see it as a form, as a divine mother, divine father, as a being of light, as the Christ light, or any other form that is close to your nature. Any of the facets of the diamond, the one infinite creator. The God or divine that loves you, that carries such compassion, that as you unite with that passion, that love inside. It fills you, that which you are looking for in all relationships, in all the situations in life. It's that. That is what will fulfill you as you touch into that presence. All of your life, all the relationships, all the aspects of your life will have a quality of fulfillment to it. You don't seek something to fill a dark hole inside. There is something there that makes your life flow, that makes it exciting and like a surprise. Connect with that the first few minutes now. You can also pray, you can talk, relate to your divine. If there's something, you can say thank you for helping this person. Thank you for helping our world grow into this supreme light, or however you want to see it in a positive picture or a feeling as it's already happened, and just give your gratitude and listen to the birds.